Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us for today's training. We have been on 1 month professional diploma training in peace and sustainable development, and it has been a wonderful time learning together. I learn from you, you are learning from me as well. So, today we want to continue from where we stop, and we'll be moving to module 6. All right, module 6, our peace and sustainable development manual. We are going to module 6. I will be looking at unit 1 today. So, we want to sincerely appreciate those of you that have been so committed to this training. You have been sacrificing your time, your energy, your data to connect to this meeting. And I can tell you for sure that you're not wasting your time, you're not wasting your energy. Surely it will pay off in due time. So we really appreciate all of you for your dedication and your commitment. Now that you have joined the training, we encourage you to do it, to share the link with someone, encourage them also to participate in our free trainings because eventually it will help them to also get to know and then do more so far as peace and sustainable development is concerned. So today, I would like to welcome you on behalf of the Governing Council of the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management and appreciate your efforts to connect to this training always. Thank you very much. Today, we'll be looking at Module 6, like I said, of peace and sustainable development. And what are we looking at? We are looking at governance, human rights, and peace building. So this is what we are looking at: governance, human rights, and peace building. These are critical components of both development and peace. Do you understand? Governance, human rights, and peace building. These are key components in both development and peace uh, building. So this is what we'll be looking at today. Just like I have said, do way to share the link with someone, invite them to be part of today's meeting. And also, while you are learning, you can paraphrase it by way of commenting what you are learning so that we know that you are following us. All right. So that we know that you are following what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying. So paraphrase by commenting what you understand. And if you have any question, you can ask the question in the comment section. We'll address it at the end of the presentation. So thank you once again for taking time to be part of today's training. My name is Tavli Joshua, uh, your facilitator always. So now we are going to look at Unit 1. And in Unit 1, we are looking at good governance and sustainable development. Good governance and sustainable development. One of the challenges of many countries around the world is the issue of good governance. Countries where governance has been so good, they are enjoying the dividends of good governance. But in the countries whereby good governance is a challenge, then it, you know, denied people the opportunity, citizens the opportunity to enjoy the benefits that accrues to good governance, accrued from good governance, because it has been, you know, a very, challenging period to some even countries, like Nigeria, for instance. Good governance has been, you know, something that we have been dreaming of. We talked about it, we dream or we converse it in different forums and different corners, but we have not experienced uh, a practical good governance. Or we make say that on few occasions we experience something close to. We may say, okay, during our passenger administration, we experienced some, you know, very massive and drastic development during your administration, we experienced some level of, you know, good governance to some point, but it has not been so good right from time of the military, and after independence, it has been so challenging all the while. You understand? And the return of democracy did not also, give us much benefit as expected. So the issue of good governance has been a challenge, and as a result of poor governance, it has also derailed sustainable development efforts. It's only when you can have good governance is guaranteed that the issue of sustainable development can also be, achieved. So, but in the absence of good governance, how can you achieve sustainable development? So these concepts are interconnected. They're interwoven. Do you understand? They influence each other. Yes. Good governance in some states that have little of what we can consider as good governance. Every leader that comes up try to do more. Okay, let me just give you one example of such state like Akwa Ibom, for instance. Now, Akwa Ibom State, when Akwa Ibom raised some standard when he was the governor. So, and then when someone, uh, Emmanuel, the other one, the former governor, took over, he also pushed to some extent, and the current one is also pushing. So, it's at least they're trying their best. Do you understand? So, but that is not enough. They can do more. And then at the federal level, it has been a very difficult experience anyway. But we hope that we will have good governance soon. Do you understand? Where things are working effectively, where the welfare of the citizenry matters, where economic policies are being effective, and where institutions are being strengthened, and where corruption has been reduced, where laws are being adjudicated fairly. You understand? So all of this, we hope that it will come to pass one day that we have them. So, but we are going to look at some of the things that we need to do governance. So what we consider as good governance. So we are going to look at some of the factors, some of the things that constitute good governance, or may be regarded as bad governance. All right. So we'll look at some of the things here now. So we're going to look at the principles of good governance. We'll be looking at the transparency, the issue of transparency, accountability, and rule of law. And then, of course, we also look at how governance affects peace building and development outcomes. So these are the things that we're going to look at this evening. And I believe that you're going to have a wonderful experience here. So if you have just joined us, you can do it to share the link with someone, invite them to be part of what we are, discussing here today. Um, Now we look at good governance and sustainable development. Good governance and sustainable development. Good governance and sustainable development. So when we talk about good governance, what are we talking about? When we talk about good governance, what make governance to be regarded as good governance? What make governance to be referred as good governance? What are the elements? What are the ingredients that you see in governance that you can regard it as good governance? Are there things that when are being demonstrated, are being carried out in the course of administration that can make us to regard such administration as a good administration or good governance. So those factors. Let's look at what good governance is all about so that we'll have a basic understanding of what good governance is. So good governance refers to the process and structure that guides political and socio-economic relationships. Okay, so processes and structures that guide political and socio-economic relationships. Because it has to do with all of those components: political, social, economic. Do you understand? So how these factors interplays and the outcomes of their interrelationship, that interplays, is what matters to us the most. Do you understand? Yeah. So as the citizenry, what happens, at the level of governance, is the impacts of that governance that matters to us. You understand? How we feel it. That's what matters to us. So, but let's look at some of the things that good governance emphasize. One is accountability. So, ensuring that leaders and institutions are answerable to the public. Any governance that is not answerable to the people, such governance is what? Unaccountable. Nigerian government is one of the unaccountable government. What makes us to say this is because the last protest that happened, people have been convicted and sent to prison. How? One, what the people were yearning for was not attended to. Even when the president addressed the nation, the president did not take into account the yearning of the citizen. Then they are just taking policies that they believe, according to their stories, that they are going to help us get out of the economic problems in this country. Now bring us development. But we have been, since the removal of fuel subsidy, we have been seeing billions of dollars, or what we can amount to trillions of nairas, but they are not reflecting in anybody. They are not reflecting in anybody. They are not reflecting in the people. They are not reflecting in the infrastructure development. They are not reflecting on the, I don't know where the money is going. You understand? But we hear billions of dollars coming, but we are not seeing the money reflecting anywhere. So, and things, economic policies are just getting harsher and harsher. So, but people should be accountable. Leaders should be accountable. Institutions should be accountable. And nobody bears accountability when things go wrong. They will just come and tell stories and defend them. In fact, they will even lie in addition, just to tell stories, just to cover up their messes. Do you understand? And give excuses on previous administrations, how bad it was. We knew it was so bad. That is why we voted you, so that you can bring the change we desire. And then they will give you excuses and say that 2 years is too small for us to do the needed change. 4 years finished, they come and tell you that I started work, oh, I never finished. Give me another 4 years. That is how it will end. 8 years, nothing. Do you understand? So accountability is one of the things that constitutes good governance. When a government, when institution, when individuals, when leaders are accountable to the public, that institution, that leader, that government is considered as what? A good government, a good leader, a good institution. Good governance, accountability. Number two, transparency. Making decisions and processes clear and accessible to the public. How many of you, the document, the document that the Ministry of Education came up with and now decided that only 5 universities in Benin Republic are recognized university and 3 in Togo? Have you accessed that document? Have you seen it? Let me tell you something. In a matter that concerns government and private universities were also included. A member of the committee of the private universities was included in that list. We never favor private universities in Benin Republic, and that's why they came so heavy against them. Do you understand? How can you tell me that the whole of Benin Republic, there's no university private that is being recognized? So you can see the politics that was involved. So no particular document was is in the public for us to view it. Minister just came on television and make pronouncement and go. I'm just citing one issue. There are other documents that policies and decision of government that they dare not even ask. I know they have something in our public offices where they can't document as confidential. Every file you carry is confidential. Every file you carry is confidential. Yeah. And then you go and request for the information now. They'll still not give you. So, but the business of government must be transparent for that government to be considered as a good government. Information, decision of government must be, transparent. Actions of government must be transparent. How government money is being spent must be transparent. How budget processes are being made must be transparent. Participation, encouraging involvement from all stakeholders, including marginalized groups. When a government encourage everyone and everyone is included in the governance process, then that government can be considered as a good government. You understand? Such governance can be regarded as a good governance. Where marginalized groups are being carried along, where you know minorities are being considered, where different groups are being considered and included, where all stakeholders are allowed to participate. Such government can be regarded as a good government. Rule of law, rule of law, upholding laws that are fairly applied and enforced, not applying laws to favor certain people and disfavor others. No. Even when you are romancing with any political party, rules must be applied in such a way that every group feel, are protected, so that we will not just interpret laws anyhow just to favor people we have we have some feelings, maybe some have some alignment or connections here and there. Do you understand? So equity and inclusivity, all right, equity and inclusiveness is also one of the things element in good governance that must be seen. So provisions of resources and allocations of resources and job opportunities and every other opportunities should be done with equity principles, and every segment of the country and the society must be included. You understand? People should be carried along. So should not just you know stretched the issue of inequality in our system, right? So and then sustainable development, we have been defining sustainable development, which we say is the ability to meet the needs of the present generation without compromising the needs of the future generation. That's what we have been talking about. without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. So this is what we have been talking about. So now we talk about the principles of sustainable development. We talk about environmental protection. You have to safeguard the ecosystem and biodiversity. That's one. Economic growth, promoting inclusive economic growth that benefits all segments of society. You understand? So economy activities should span throughout the country. I don't see the reason why we don't want to dredge River Benue and River Niger so that we can have mini, even if we don't have a full-fledged port, we can have mini ports so that we can decongest um, the other ones we have in Lagos, and then maybe other so that we can have uh, business opportunities in other places and economic viabilities in other states as well. Do you understand? So economic growth, social equity, addressing disparities and ensuring that all individuals have access to basic services and opportunities. You know, all of us should have what is needed to survive and to live a standard life. Do you understand? It doesn't matter what class we belong to, whether we are a people that know someone or doesn't know anybody. We should have access to some of these facilities and some of the services like healthcare system, quality healthcare system, quality education. We must not have money to send our kids to Europe before they can acquire quality education. We must not have money to send um, our children or we ourselves go on medical tourism in Europe before we can receive quality medical attention or care. We should be having that available here. But it's very unfortunate that public schools are dying. It's very unfortunate that public hospitals are dying. Private hospitals and private schools are doing well. Do you understand? So these things are not too good. We are not saying that people should not have private hospitals. You can have, but the annoying aspect of it is that sometimes those that are doctors in the public hospitals have their private hospitals. So how can they give attention to the public? Sometimes the medical supplies sent to particular hospital are being disappeared. Why? Because the doctors there are stockpiling medical supplies in their own hospitals. So interconnections. So what's the interconnection between good governance and sustainable development? Facilitates the implementation of sustainable policies. Good governance facilitates what the implementation of sustainable policies. Good governance encourages stakeholders' engagement and collaboration. Good governance ensures that resources are allocated efficiently and equitably. Good governance monitor and evaluate progress towards sustainability goals. Do you understand? Because every decision that's taken is being monitored to make sure that that decision is being implemented and result being achieved. Do you understand? So let's look at some of the principles of good governance. What are the principles of good governance? Let's look at principles of good governance. Principles of good governance are essential that organization and governments operate effectively, transparently, and responsibly. So let's look at some of the principles here, because good governance is not just when it comes to public offices; it can be in private institutions as well. Whatever leadership level you are per time, you make sure that in your own time things work well. You understand? In your own time things work well. As the registrar of the institute, I'm doing my best to make sure that things work well. You understand? Doing a lot of things to make sure that the institute is being effective. So far as we are concerned, we're trying to set certain standards that many institutions in Nigeria have not set. Do you understand? So this is what we're trying to do. Set different level of standard, and before you know it, uh, time shall tell, so that we'll know whether we're wasting our time or we're doing something good. Do you understand? So that is it. So what are the key principles of good governance. Number one is accountability. Number two is transparency. Number three is participation. Number four is what? Rule of law. Number five is what? Equity and inclusivity. I'm mentioning those ones because we have discussed them before. That's why I don't want to talk much about them. I just mentioned it and we'll move. Number six is effectiveness and efficiency. Good governance ensure that activities of an organization are conducted effectively. And of course, cost issue is also being considered. How resources are being applied judiciously. You understand? To make sure that no kobo is missing and no kobo is going where it's not supposed to go. So effectiveness and efficiency is good. Business. So you drag legs. No, that is when you do that, it's inefficient. That is it causes a lot of pains, causes a lot of challenges. Go to government hospitals, people are just dragging legs. In emergency situation that you are closing, won't you be there attend to the customer to protect the reputation of your organization? But people look at the business of government as not I don't understand. Do you understand? And sometimes people in government they close work by two, by three, when their closing time is four. Some of them even close by 12. Some will come, they will not close, they will be in the office, but they're doing nothing. They are under the tree chatting and discussing politics, discussing how this administration is not serious. Is that your business? Go and do your work. Or when did you become a policy analyst or a government analyst? Go and do your work. You're working in a government for you to do your work so that government can succeed and be effective. You are busy sitting under the tree chatting, and you have the gut even to be blaming that government that that government is doing nothing. What about you? That you sit under a tree when you're supposed to be in the office doing the job that you are employed to do. So you don't know the impact of your contribution. So when you do things like this, it brings inefficiency and ineffectiveness. You understand in the system. So we talk about responsiveness. Leadership and governance must be responsive. When and one of the things that bring about responsiveness is ability to listen to the yearning of those that you are leading or you are governing. When people you are governing are not being given attention, do you know what happens? When you don't listen to them, you take policies, you implement policies that do not favor them at all, that may not have impact on them. Or if you listen to them and formulate policies, they will participate in the formulation and the implementation of policies. They will also cooperate with you to make sure that those policies work. So institutions should be responsive to the needs and concerns of the public. That is it. So we should be, as a leader, in take consensus orientation. Good governance seeks to mediate differing interests to reach a broad consensus on what is in the best interest of the community. The manifesto is inconsequential. You don't have any manifesto. What give you the God to have a manifesto? Political arena, and then you have a manifesto. What's that manifesto? And even if you have a manifesto, don't tell people what you will do for them. Do you understand? Tell the people what they should be expecting to see in your administration, but not what you do for them as a people. Because you will not be able to do it. The promises you make are too big for you to do it. So when you go to a campaign, when you want to campaign for any election, go to the people, let them tell you what they need. Ask them, give me one, two, three of the things that you need as a priority in your community. So that when you are giving you have when let me not even talk too much. But let me just say it because if tomorrow I decide to campaign for any contest for any position, what I will go and tell the people that I am canvassing to govern is to for them to tell me what they need, not what I want to do for them. No, that's a wrong position. Let them tell you of the people. They will value it more. They will protect it more. They will give attention to it more than what you provide to them. You go and put a borehole to them when these people need an educational center where they can send their children to school, and then you are putting them borehole. They ask you that they need borehole. Do you understand? So, and that's why before you know it, because they don't have value for the borehole, there was no need for the borehole. So before you know it, 2 days, 3 days, the and abandoned. Do you understand? They have so many abandoned projects. Why? Because they were not in tandem with the needs of the people in that community. So for the community people, it's not welcome. Do you understand? And they will not embrace it. And of course, doing whatever we want to do for the people, go out there, get to know what they want. Even if you have it in mind that this is what I want to do, go out there, also get the information from the people, compare with what you have, and then look at how you can match with what you have or extract and forget about what you have and take what they want. Do you understand? That's what we're talking about here. So by so doing, it will be easy for you to be accountable. The reason why we are not being able to be accountable is because we come with what we will say we will do, not what the people want. If I go to a particular community and the community say, I need water, I need electricity, I need an educational center. So you say, okay, this is what you want. And you know that at my capacity of that leadership, which I'm contesting for, I can do it. Then, okay, I take the record. So when after 3 years or 4 years, as the case may be, and I'm coming back for report on what I have been able to achieve, then I will be giving a report to a community. I'll say, this community, when I came to you, this is what and what you demanded for. This is this and what I have been able to do for you. That's the best way to be accountable. You understand? So, and then you see governance will be easy, but will come and make fake promises.
that are not in tandem with the needs of the people. One, they are fake. Two, they are not in line with what the people want. So at the end of the day, you don't even show up because you don't care. So make sure you reach a consensus agreement with the people for whatever you want to do for them. Integrity, ethical standard must be upheld, ensuring that leaders act in the public interest and avoid corruption. Hey, avoid corruption. So we can actually avoid corruption. Do you understand? We can actually avoid corruption. But it's so amazed that sometimes people come into government and the first thing they are thinking of how to make money and become rich. You are not going into governance to accumulate wealth. No, you are into governance to provide services that benefit the people. If you want to be rich, go and do business. Forget about governance. But if peradventure you do your work well and whatever they pay you, you can save that and do business and make money. But governance in our own situation is as if people is access to accumulate wealth. It shouldn't be so. It shouldn't be so. It shouldn't be so. When I met the local government chairman, I was telling him that, you see, I know that there are so many expectations on you, and it's always like that with politicians. But you must have a legacy to leave behind so that you can look back and say, these are the legacies I left behind. You know, I'm not saying that you not reach out to people. People definitely will come with expectations and demands. Reach out to their demands, but have it in the back of your mind that legacies that are not visible cannot, and legacies that are not also in the minds of the people cannot be lasting legacies. You understand? So these are the things. So integrity, avoid corruption most if you can. Don't go and entangle yourself into any, like in this institution. If you give me money for anything, like say you register for the membership of the institute, if we are not done induction for you, that money remains untouchable. It's not yet our money until we have done your induction. We know that you have been inducted, or we are working on the induction, so we are touching the money to do the induction, organize the induction for you. Otherwise, that money is untouchable. You understand? So that is how we operate here. We don't touch money if money is meant for a particular thing, no matter what happens, that money still remains there. Most especially if I collect money for a training and I have not given you the training, that money is not expendable money until you receive the training. Nothing spoiled. We're just trying to protect the image of the institute. We're also trying to protect our own image as individuals that are here, at least in our own time. Do you understand that kind of thing? So, so it's not about anything. So sustainability governance should promote sustainable practice that consider long-term impact on society. Some of the resources that we have are depletable resources. That is, they are that is, they are not, they are they are finite resources. That's they can finish. Do you understand? And the way we go about exploring them, we we exploit them in such a way that we abuse the exploitation of them. And we never knew that these things, and then when resources come from those exploitations or explorations, the way those resources are being applied, ah, ah, you see a minister of government having convoy that's supposed to be a convoy of the president. And then when you see the president's convoy, you wonder what is the essence of this convoy? What is the meaning of this convoy? Do you understand? Certain convoys should not. I don't see the reason why a minister of government will be carrying up to 5 cars. Carry your own car. If you have an escort, carry your escort and be moving. Go ahead. Other vehicles that follow, what are they following you about? We're wasting the resources of government. That is, there's no iota of sustainability in their minds. It's my opportunity to enjoy myself. So if the former minister have 5 cars, I should have 6, 7. So what is the spirit of sustainability? If we continue like that, why won't we be crying that there's no money, there's no money? Why indeed there is money, but the way you are spending it is not sustainable. So these are some of the issues. Do you understand? So for you to have good governance, these principles must be applied. What are those principles that we talk about? Accountability, transparency, the rule of law, equity and inclusiveness, effectiveness and efficiency, responsiveness, consensus orientations, integrity, and sustainability. These must be in place for you to consider that your governance is a good governance. So let's look at transparency and accountability and rule of law. All right. So because these are also fundamental principles of good governance. We have mentioned them there. We have mentioned them as the fundamental principles of our good governance. Then also transparency, accountability, and rule of law. They are the fundamental principles of good governance. And these work together, to ensure effective and responsible management of public resources and decision-making processes. This is what they do. Because any decision any process that is transparent, that process can be also, leads to accountability. And of course, you know, rule of law can be easily applied when there are challenges. You understand? So that's what it is. And that's what makes them to be basic and fundamental, principles of good governance. So let's take them one after the other. Let's look at transparency. Transparency. We define transparency as the openness and clarity with which decisions are made and information is shared with stakeholders, including the public. All right. The openness and clarity with which decisions are made. Now, sometimes you see people, when sometimes you look at some of these legislative arm of government carrying out oversized functions, and you see they invite a minister or a head of a parastatal or agency of the government. Sometimes we see amazing things, so amazing and wonderful things. They're asking you questions on the actions you have taken. And then instead of responding to those questions they're asking you, you get angry, you get paranoid, you get abusive, you get authoritative. I am not here for you to come and insult me. Who is insulting you? They're asking you questions based on the action you have taken. So answer, respond according to what you have done. You have done what You say you did this, you say you don't, you are showing us document, and they're asking you question based on the document you have presented, and then you suddenly you get angry that they are insulting you, that you are not here to come so that they will abuse. I don't understand this kind of a thing. How where do we but it's because some of these decisions, some of these actions were not transparently done. Do you understand? So when questions begin to arise from those actions and processes and procedures, then they become aggressive, abusive. You understand? They become what? Aggressive and abusive, which is not supposed to be so. You know, which is not supposed to be so. But that's what they do. Become aggressive and abusive. You understand? So it's not supposed to be so. So why get angry? Because you know that there's a skeleton in your cupboard. There's something that is not correct. And so much investigation may lead to that, and then you are trying to avoid it. Some of them will collapse. I hope you remember that professor that collapsed. I don't want to mention the organization again because I think I mentioned it here before, but I don't want to mention it again. Do you understand? So please, some of you remember Ote, right? I don't want to mention certain names. Do you understand? So that nobody will come and say, "I they use them shine." I don't want to use anybody shine here. But I want you to understand that transparency is very important. Let everything be done transparently. You understand? Everything be done transparently. Yeah, it cannot. You can imagine that. Okay, at the end of the day, some people may not go through this training. They may not write the exams, and then we'll give them access, go and get certificate. How possible is that? Some people in this training, some people came. They wrote the exams, they did not pass. We give them second chance to go and read again and write the exam. They write, it didn't pass. But they expected us to give them certificate and told them that we cannot give the certificate. The condition is for you to get 50%. So you cannot get 50% until you get the 50%. So and you make first attempt, second attempt, you didn't pass. Then you have to wait till next year when the training comes up again. You can still join. When you pass the exams, we can issue the certificate. No amount of excuse. But there are some people that say, well, when we're writing exams, my wife was in a hospital. Oh, my wife was in the level. I could not be able to concentrate. I was not chance to sit for the exams. Can you give me a second chance to write the exams? I say, no problem. We can give you a second chance to write the exams. You write the exams, you pass. Fine, we issue you a certificate. As simple as that. Do you understand? So let things be done transparent. So please, if you're in a position, make sure that whatever you are doing is something that you would sit and defend. Anything you cannot defend, don't do it. So what's the importance of transparency? It builds trust between citizens and institutions. One of the, see, I'm even forced to begin to prepare some certain contents that we need to talk to our people because you see, every time we're saying that Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is, It's the worst country that can happen to anybody. Oh, I don't know why God created me in this country. But these people that always say Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is bad. Yes, we know Nigeria is bad. Now, what are you doing to correct this badness of Nigeria? And if Nigeria is so bad that you cannot be here, why don't you leave and leave us alone so that we can be in Nigeria? But do you know the reason why it has gotten to this point is because there is this lack of transparency in governance. We need to come to understand that whatever they tell us, just wait and watch. It's a lie. They will tell you cook stories, cook cooked stories. I mean, cooked stories, only for you to discover that those stories will never write. You understand? For you to eat it. They cook them, but they never write for you to eat it because they are rubber stamp stories. They are not true. They are not genuine. So citizens have just given up. Even when government is maybe doing something that is supposed, maybe we consider to be genuine thing, maybe they're making genuine effort to work on things, but for the fact that they have been telling us stories and lies, we consider it to be a lie. That is, trust has been destroyed. And one thing with trust is that it must be earned. So once destroyed, it destroyed forever. It will take you time to restore that trust. You understand? See, let me tell you something. There's one thing that we do in this organization. When you pay something, except you insist, or if you do not insist, we don't have receipts. We don't give people a receipt. We don't issue receipt too. Many of you can confirm that those of you that have are members of the institute, when you pay to become a member of the institute, did we issue any receipt? We did not issue any receipt. Was there any argument on whether you pay or you did not pay? You cannot see such argument. You can never see such argument because we keep our records. Once you come, in fact, we have never had such issues. We don't have any reason why you come and even begin to argue about payment or payment. No, no. But we have instances, just few instances where record was not properly kept. But once evidence are being presented, it's clear. Yes. So these are the issues. The reason was simple. Some people were saying, how can we do business online? We don't have receipt. Well, we say, okay, it's because we are doing business online. We want you to also to trust us. We want to build trust. We may be online, but we are not totally online. We're also physical. You can meet us. We have office contact. You can come there, but we don't give receipt. Trust us based on that. If there are discrepancies, we don't collect cash. It's in the bank account. Account statement will say it all. You understand? So no time wasting. You understand? We have a lot of things to do. So, but that is it. That's what we do here. But nobody has come to me and accused me that you collect my money, chop, in but no do that. Records are properly kept to build trust. You understand? Trust. Um, Transparency enables informed participation and engagement from the public. When there is transparency, people get engaged and participate effectively. Do you understand? So we engaged people. I take my time. I try to, as much as possible, to interact with everybody that has to do something to do with us in terms of maybe you want to become a member and all of those processes. Right. I try as much as possible to connect with people so that there will be no argument. You don't even argue. Informed participation helps prevent corruption by allowing scrutiny of actions and decisions. Yes, you can question any of those things. You can scrutinize it. You you that have participated before, you can scrutinize and attest to what I'm saying here. You can ask any question you want to ask, no challenge. We are always as transparent, as open as anything. You cannot come and ask me, are we chartered? Then I will say we are chartered. For where? We are not chartered. If chartership is what you want, you wait. You know. When we are chartered, you can come, no challenge. Now we are not chartered. So why should I go and tell you that I'm chartered when we are not chartered? Do you understand? So I always tell you we are not chartered, but we are in a process. Do you understand? So if chartership is your problem, and that is what make you will feel like okay, you have so much confidence to go into, then you wait. When we are chartered, you come. So even if you come and pay more, no challenge, but that is what you want now. So you now see it. That's just it. Do you understand? So we deal with people transparently. In fact, if you look at some of the documents we do share in our WhatsApp group about our status in terms of registration, are original documents. We don't even share photocopies. They are original copies, original. Do you understand? Because although we know that even though they are original, you cannot use them anywhere. You cannot impersonate it because there are certain information that you don't have, so you cannot be able to use it anywhere. You understand? Because if go there, they will request for them, which you don't have, so you cannot impersonate it. So we share original document. That is a level of transparency. No hiding corners. You understand? So practices. Transparency, in terms of practice, is making government data and decision making processes accessible. You know, just make those information accessible. There's nothing to hide. Regularly publishing reports and updates on policies and spending. Yes, where it's necessary, you publish those information. But even government, there is regularly. Institution may have period that they publish those things, maybe quarterly. Do you understand? And they encouraging public access to information through freedom of information law. Right? So you can go and ask about a document. You can go now and ask the budget for the year. Let them give you a copy of the budget. As a citizen, you can go and ask for that document. You have it. Why are you asking for the document? You want to hold government accountable. You say you budgeted 1 trillion for the military or Ministry of Defense. Ministry of Defense, how do you spend this 1 trillion naira? We want to know how you expended this 1 trillion. Now we are still having insecurity here and there. Nothing is happening. So tell us how you spend this 1 trillion. This is the budget, but how much was given to you? Or maybe you have collected 1 trillion. Now tell us how you spend this 1 trillion that we are still police. Let me not even go to the area of police. The military, their welfare are still, you know, uh, saw one video. One guy was saying that he wanted to go and visit the family, but his salary is just 50,000 a month. So and The 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 transportation alone was about 35,000. That is just to go, not to come back here too. Just to go 35,000. Coming back 35,000. That is 70,000. What will he give to his family people? So he calculated and he said that he would not go. And he made a video. And then later we learned that he was being in, you know, what they call it, put in a guard room. They arrested him, put in a guard room. Why would we go and say such? And some people will still defending that, and that's a military is a service. If you don't want to serve, you should leave. Yes, we know it's a service, but the condition of this service can be improved. We know that it's a service, but we see generals driving Land Cruisers. So why isn't that the general is not trekking because it's a service? Why are they driving Land Cruisers? Why are they carrying convoy? You are a general, you are still carrying convoy. Why are you carrying convoy? Why? Why? And then you are telling me it's a service. So let if the service is the service, the welfare of a general is improved. Let the welfare of a sergeant. I'm not saying that they should be paid equivalent of what a general is paying, which is a very far higher ranking, which they have, sacrificed a lot to attain. Yes, they should enjoy their life and their whatever that is attached to them. But let these ones too have meaning to what they are doing. What what stops the military if they can pay at a liquid 200,000? This is one of the highest budget a ministry that is being budgeted in this country. One of the highest is the defense. The defense ministry takes money more than education, takes money more than health, and their people, their staff, like a military officer, a junior ranking military officer, cannot boast of 100,000. And then somebody is telling me that it's service, it's service. If they don't want the service, they should leave. Leave to where? A president is serving, a minister is serving. Oh, it's service. But why is that their own is much their service has so much benefit that other people are not benefiting from it? Do you understand? So if you go and ask questions now, they will not give you certain information, they will not give you. They'll say it's confidential. But we have freedom of information law here in this country. You can go and ask questions about. Then if you go, they'll ask you, are you a journalist? Are you this one? Must I be a journalist before I will be entitled to information that concerns me, budget that concerns my life? I'm a citizen of the country. I'm entitled to every information that concerns maybe the budgetary system of this country. And if I want to ask questions, I should be given such information. That's if I have interest to go and ask, I should not be denied such information. I must not necessarily be a journalist. I must not necessarily be a legal personnel, but by qualification as a citizen. Do you understand? So that's why it is. So if I'm a military officer here in this training, telling you the truth, the day you reach the top in the military, while you are enjoying yourself there at the top, remember that there are younger ones that are suffering. So improve their welfare. And if you're in a position now that you can do anything to facilitate that to happen, let it be. that it happens. But those guys can have meaning to what they are doing, because some of them they will work for the rest of their life. They will not. If they would spend 35 years, they will not even smell the rank of a general. Some cannot even reach the rank of a captain, and they will retire. Some cannot even reach the rank of a colonel, a lieutenant colonel, and they will retire. Some may not even reach the rank of a sergeant, they will retire. 35 good years. So when will they have meaning to what they are doing? So that guy cried and then they put him in the guard room for saying the truth, for saying a fact. So accountability defines as the obligation of institutions, organizations, and individuals to report on their actions and accept responsibility for them. You do something wrong, accept it. You do something good, take the glory, no challenge. But don't take the glory when it's good, and then when it is bad, you refuse to take accept accountability or accept responsibility. When they want you to accept responsibility, now you get angry. But when it's time to take glory, you accept glory and you jubilate and go. But when it's time for now to take responsibility, you get angry. Why are they questioning you? Why are they are insulting you? Insulting you how? When has questioning become insult? But people have seen all these things on national television. People they, for oversight function, they come and they ask minister a question, and then minister is shouting and ranting and saying that why are you shouting me? Why you people did not invite me to come and insult me? Who insulting you? They are not insulting you. The action you have taken, the decision you have made, make them to ask you questions. So you respond based on the actions you have taken. They are not asking you question outside of what you have done. It's according to what you have done. They are asking you a question, respond, and then you are saying they're insulting you, they're insulting your personality. If you know you take action in your own organization, gong gong, if you know that you take action, they will ask you to like say something about the action you have taken and you have no say. Don't take those actions. Don't take such action that you cannot explain. Save your name, save your dignity. But it is much more than gold and silver. A good name is what? Much more than gold and silver. For gold will surely come, for silver will surely come. It doesn't matter when, but surely it will come. So why spoil your name? Some for even change. Want to steal money like some people like steal 100 and something billion, and then when they ask them, they return 40 billion and then pocket the other one. In our EFCC, no, EFCC when they say you stole 100 billion, and they will come and then talk with you, but they say okay, and so what can you do? How much can you return so that we see if we can understand with you? Then you say, well, since the thing don't turn like this, since when I come no say I do something like this, say I don't spend the other money or service my life. But what I can afford to return now is 40 billion. After that 100 billion, that's 60 billion. I don't spend them. I don't get them here. I don't get them anywhere. Mhm. So I return this one. And then they say, okay, return that one. And then you be a free man. And people not feel like that in this country. If you are doubting, go and ask the former accountant general. He will tell you something. Former accountant, go and ask him. If you doubt me, go and ask him. How far, guy? What happened now? I heard that you stole 104. How? So why are you free? He will tell you what the deal, very simple deal. No wonder they are still, if anybody want to see, they steal plenty money. Oh, but they carry them go court, they will buy lawyers, buy every, do everything, and get a favorable term. 100%. What's the importance of accountability? Ensure that leaders and officials are answerable to the public, deters corruption and mismanagement by creating consequences for wrongdoing. So, but is there any consequences for somebody who stole 104 billion and returned 40 billion and walk away and is living freely? Is there what we call consequences? I read something online which I cannot authenticate that is true, but they say that the former CBN governor returned 4 trillion. So if somebody can return 4 trillion, I think you are imagining what I'm imagining as well. Maybe that person must have stole 10 trillion. Aye. But when the case came out, he used to carry big Bible and be walking. Big Bible, big Bible. Suddenly become a born again, genuine born again. Carry Bible they walk about. If you know that tomorrow you carry Bible, don't take that action. Oh. Tomorrow you know that you carry Quran and be walking about and be telling people how innocent you are and they're just persecuting you. This government doesn't like you. This one, and it's because of this issue. And that this EFCC man is just chasing me up and down. If you know that tomorrow that's what you'll be saying, I beg you, don't take that action. Don't take that step. So you must be accountable, right? So promote responsible behavior by fostering a culture of oversight. You see, the former governor, they invited him to ASC. He refused to go. He said they say they put one journalist there to come and embarrass me. Why will you say that? Why do you think that the journal? Why are you afraid to go and face journalists and answer questions? Like me now, if journalists come to me now, I will even be celebrating their coming. Come and interview me. Why somebody was going to come and give an account of how he spends certain money? And then you say he's not coming, that you arrange the journalist to come and embarrass me, so I'm not coming. Or you carry the current governor put in pocket to follow you about so that it's your security. If you know you tomorrow you'll be in that kind of same situation, don't take the action. Oh, yeah, I'm saying it here now. But you must be accountable. You must be held accountable for your action and inactions. Sometimes the actions that you refuse to take, you will also be held accountable because it was in your best position to take that action, you refuse. So you'll still be accountable for it, for your inaction. You understand? So that's what it means. So let's look at the practices. Establishing mechanism for reporting and reviewing actions. That's audit performance assessment. Enabling citizens to voice grievances and seek redress. Implementing checks and balances within government structures. That's what we're talking about. So when they come for oversight function, you are a minister, they say, come and give account of what you have been doing. Don't come and say they're insulting you. If you do not give them any reason to insult you, they will not insult you. By the way, you are a honorable minister, and they also are a honorable House of Rep member, right? Or they are distinguished senators. Do you understand? So don't give them room for insult. Do the right thing. So rule of law. The rule of law is the principle that all individuals and institutions are subject to and accountable under the law, which is fairly applied and enforced. So what is the importance? Say, practice individual rights and freedom by ensuring laws are applied consistently, prevent arbitrary governance and abuse of power, promote public confidence in legal systems, and all of that. So what is the practice? Ensuring the laws are clear, publicized, and stable, providing fair and impartial legal process. Yes, don't say this person is my tribe, so I will give him favorable terms. Or this person is my religious mate. I'll give him, or this person is my classmate. Punish your classmate in the first place. So practice ensuring that laws are clear, publicized, and stable, providing fair and impartial legal processes, upholding the independence of the judiciary to safeguard against political interferences. So let the president stop appointing Chief Justice of the Federation. The president can appoint the Attorney General of the Federation. That's which is also a minister of Chief Justice. But they should stop appointing Chief Justice. The position should be appointed by the highest body in the judiciary system, not the president. And in fact, they should not even recommend to the president for confirmation. They should appoint such person and send the name to the National Assembly for confirmation without the consent of the president. That's the only way we can guarantee the independence of the judiciary globally. So what is the interconnections between these terms or between and among these terms? Transparency foster accountability by allowing stakeholders to see and understand the actions of government officials. Accountability reinforces the rule of law by ensuring that individuals and institutions are held responsible for their compliance with laws and regulations. And the rule of law, of course, supports transparency by establishing a legal framework that mandates openness and access to information. So let's look at our last topic for today. All right, let's look at our last topic for today, which is going to be how governance affect peace building and what development outcomes. How governance affects peace building and development outcomes. How does governance affect development and you know peace outcomes? How does governance affect you know development and peace building outcomes? So number one is stability and security. Governance plays a crucial role in shaping peace building and development outcomes. And one of those outcomes is what? Stability and security. So stability and security. So conflict prevention. Good governance reduces grievances by ensuring equitable access to resources, justice, and political representation, thereby minimizing the risk of conflict. Because where there's injustice, conflict is a possibility. Where there is unfair distribution of resources, conflict is inevitable. So, rule of law. When laws are applied fairly and consistently, it builds what? Trust in institutions. When it doesn't matter who you are. Here in some countries where president can be, arrested, and be taken to court. Or president is in government but he has a case to answer in the court. Ehen, those countries are really doing well. Understand? Trust in institutions. Trust in what institutions? So public confidence. That is effective governance foster trust in public institutions. When citizens believe their government acts in their best interest, they are more likely to engage in peaceful processes. But when we know that government is just being corny while with us, we are ready to go out and protest against that government. Social cohesion, inclusive governance that represent diverse groups, both women and men are being fairly represented, marginalized groups are being included and carried along in terms. Resource management, equitable distribution of resources, sustainable development are some of the things that we see. Talk about participation and inclusion, stakeholders engagement, right? When governance structures encourage stakeholders engagement, it go a long way to help a lot, right? Talk about economic development, investment climate, where people are willing to come and invest, not when investors are even leaving, like in our situation, where investors are even disappearing. Do you understand? Corruption reduction, of course, corruption must be reduced when effective governance is in place, right? Human rights and justice, protection of human rights. People, people's rights must be protected. Access to justice. People must have access to legal system to seek redress where necessary. Resilience to shock. Adaptive governance. That is governance that can be able to bounce back even in times of economic meltdown, in times of COVID-19. Government should be able to bounce back despite those experiences. Crisis management, and all of that. International relations, diplomatic engagement, not to be at the loggerhead with your neighbors like we are trying to be because of one error somewhere. So aid effectiveness. Donors are more likely to engage with well-governed countries. Yes, so that when money is being given, it will be channeled to where it's being given. So this is what we're going to cover for today. It's very unfortunate that I cannot even see your comment because of my network issue, and I wanted to know whether people are asking questions and all of that, but because of network, I cannot even do hotspots here. All right, so thank you very much. We'll see tomorrow. I'm trying to finalize. I'm trying to work on your manual. I will send it to you. I'll put things together and then I'll list it to you. Or if you can be patient, when we finish our training, we can give it to you. We'll still give you 1 week to read for your exam, so there's nothing to worry about. But I think the manual will be shortly available. Maybe before this week runs up, I can drop it to you. I was thinking tomorrow, yesterday, but I have some certain things that I need to put in order to read before I'll send it. So bear with me, please. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night rest. See you tomorrow
by 7 p.m. And those of you that still do your presentation on alternative dispute resolution, please do way to do your presentation. We want to write the exams. We'll be starting the exam by this weekend. So those of you that have not done your presentation, try and do your presentation so I can write your exams, please. That's I'm talking about those that did training on alternative dispute resolution, not peace and sustainable development, please. So don't misunderstand me. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night rest.